I'm probably just going to start with questions because I don't know what to say other than, well, I guess I do. When am I ever a loss for words? Man, it's a brain game. The day I got here is the toughest, hardest working, most competitive team in the country, and we're going to play for 4 quarters, and if they give us free football, then we're going to play for 5 quarters or ever how long we got to play. We talk all the time about what's next. There's going to be good things. There's going to be bad things that happen during the game, and get to what's next. Don't think about the last play the next play. And I don't know if there's a game that I can think of that's not more indicative or defines that character as what's next, because we had times that we did some good things and we didn't come out in the right way, and we did some stuff that wasn't what we wanted to do, and it affected us. And man, we just kept playing, and you saw that. And man, I'm really proud of the players, and we're going to build off of it. We're going to enjoy this for 24 hours, and then we're going to get back to work. So I'll open up for any questions.
Despite the 3 turnovers, what is it about Donovan that keeps him from getting rattled in those situations?
The guys to the right and left of him, we play for each other. And if you'd have been down on the sideline, you'd have heard it. Like it's, at the end of the day, when things happen, different things happen. It's not just one person. There's a collective effect of different things on that play to where it's either we didn't clear somebody out or there's pressure in his face. And so we all know that. And I think, he has a very strong voice in that locker room, but they care a lot about him. So there were a lot of guys that had his back and just said, keep playing. So it was fun to see that.
Go Phil and Joe. You were talking about the defense against them in the overtime period. That's the key to the victory besides Donovan's run.
Yeah. I remember I think it was November 11th, the press conference. Was it the 11th or the 9th or 8th? We play defense in West Texas, and that's what we're going to hang our hat on. And, the defense was saying that. They were, when we came out, we gave up 1 in that first overtime because we didn't fit the defense. We didn't tackle. And, they just wanted another shot to come out and play again. Luckily, we got it. And, that we're going to keep getting better on defense. We got some guys that are really growing into their roles. We got Fry fought through, a banged-up quad, so he didn't get to play a lot of defense, just as a punt returner. But it says a lot about those guys that, they just wanted the opportunity to keep playing, and we're going to keep getting better on defense. We got some things that we still have to fix, and we're going to fix them.
Speaking of defense, could you talk about the game that Coach DeRuiter called on defense? Because it looked like he had you guys pretty aggressive over there, and for the most part, it paid off.
Toon's a really good quarterback, and if you give him too much time, then he can really pick you apart, and that's something that we wanted to be really aggressive. That's kind of our style. Our DBs had a really good week after, they were really challenged to be better with their eyes. I thought those guys did a great job. Malik had a huge play, a break up that was almost intercepted, and then, Reggie did a great job being where he was supposed to be and had that pick. But, we came in, we really wanted to pressure them. And then as the game goes on, when you start talking about getting into field goal range and stuff like that, you're trying to knock them out of field goal range. And so we really tried to turn up the heat.
Coach Nehemiah Martinez, local kid, Lubbock Cooper, right up the street. Kind of just talk about him and what he brings to y'all's program.
I mean, it's what's next. I mean, Miles Price is back tightened up on him, so he was getting stretched out, and it's the next man up. That next man up is really, really good, Nehemiah. And you think about that touchdown. I mean, it was almost the exact same touchdown that he scored during the spring game. I mean, he's so strong. He's so physical. He's like 209 pounds, one of the strongest kids we got on the team, and people just bounce off of him. And, he's a guy that just he's a perfect example of who we are. Just comes to work every day and gets better, and whenever his number's called, then he's ready. And that was really big for him because, again, Miles is one of our top returners and has a lot of experience. He had a great game. Whenever he came back and his back did loosen up, he scored that touchdown. So that was good to see. But, man, we had a lot of guys fight through a lot of stuff and, some nicks and bruises. And, Drew's going to be busy tomorrow, but he'll have them ready to go next week.
Coach, kind of building off what you're saying, nicks and bruises, was there any update on Weston Wright there? We saw him get carted.
I haven't heard. I didn't get to talk to Drew because once Drew says they're out, I really don't ask what it is because, we got to get to the next thing, next play call. It looked like it was ankle. Hopefully it's not a high ankle sprain. He sprained that ankle before, and so we're hoping that's what it is. But we talked. We've come in here and we've talked. I think y'all thought I was crazy that we're going to rotate people and we're going to play these guys and maybe you don't have 5 offensive linemen, so you're going to play 7 or 8. Well, it paid off tonight because Jacoby Jackson played last week and he played early in the game at right guard and we moved him to left guard and man, he played a really good game, and so we'll get Weston back. He'll be ready to go, but it was good to see how Jacoby played.
And we saw Kosai kind of leave before the team at halftime, and then he came back and made that great play in the backfield. What did he bring, and what did you see from the linebackers today?
Kosai is a kid that has bought into what we're doing from the standpoint of studying the game throughout the week. And, he's up here. If he's not in class, he's up here with the defensive staff. I mean, I've walked in there and, he's sitting in there going through the game plan with the defensive staff, and you could see he's just going to keep playing faster and faster and making more plays for us because, he has such a good feel for the defense. He got a helmet on the kind of like his lower, really not knee, and it kind of went numb for a second. And so we brought him in, and man, he was ready to go. They got him back and was ready to go.
What made that second half so difficult for you guys? And ultimately, what are you saying to your guys when you go into situations like that and ultimately pull off the win?
Well, you can't turn the ball over. We're driving the ball, and we came out of half, and I felt really good about coming out of half. We had a lot of energy, and then we give up the deep ball. But it goes back, if you go back and watch the play, I guarantee you, well, I know we did. We lost contain. So everything fits together. We've talked about that. Everybody wants to blame a DB or blame it fits together. We lost contain. Tyree had really good pressure coming off his edge. We didn't cop out to get to contain, and they were able to throw the deep ball. And so they came out right off the bat and scored, man. That's not what you want. It's kind of the worst thing that can happen. And then we turned the ball over for another touchdown, and that's how we ended up, being 17-17. And so we've got to make sure we're doing a better job taking care of the football. But it was fun tonight to hear the purge, and us take the ball away a couple of times. I was telling the defense if we could get one more, then we'd win the game. We just couldn't get that third turnover.
Coach, 4th and 20, what does it say about Donovan being able to be calm, cool, collected, and be able to deliver the ball and continue that drive?
Well, the one thing that we're really working on right now, I've even told the coaches, if we can't get it just in a natural practice setting, then we're going to have to script for it. But, it happened last week with some scramble drills on defense and the same thing on offense. So you got Donovan, who can prolong a play with his feet. He's a true dual threat quarterback. He's got a big arm. He can throw on the run. And then you have Bradley with the heads up. Here we go, scramble drill. Let me get into a window. And he did a great job getting in the window. Donovan got it to him and got the first down.
And talk to us about, kicking woes and trying to figure out who's your kicker.
Well, we'll keep doing what we're doing. I feel good about both of them. It was awesome to see Wolf come back. It's the nature of the beast in the world we live in as kickers. You're either the hero or you're not. And, it wasn't just that. We've got to do some really searching special teams wise off of this game to get better. It's going to be good tape to look at because we had some blunders with that and even in the punt game, right off the bat. And then it was good to see Austin because he had a bad punt the first one and then came back and really stroked one. And so it's just not, the kickers. It's a mixture of that whole special teams unit getting better.
Coach, I wanted you to ask about the composure of Donovan, but really it's the composure of your whole team because you had 6 penalties for 45 yards, and as much as they tried to draw you off sides, you guys really didn't. Can you speak to the composure of your team?
Well, it's number one over there. I mean, that's how we win football games. If we go through there and we look, we didn't win the turnover battle. We weren't special on special teams, but I think we won the middle 8 and we attacked the situations. But the number one is don't beat yourself, and that's huge. I mean, especially we talked all week about, not making this about football and not getting caught up in some of the things that they could try to get you caught up in. And I thought our guys really responded. I mean, we had a couple of those penalties late because I think, at one point we were like 2 of 9 through most of the game and had some of those penalties late. And so I was proud of that. I mean, we stay on that side to where we're winning the penalty battle and winning that don't beat yourself, we're going to win a lot of football games.
Can you speak to your defense today? 5 of 16 on third down was Houston today. I mean, you kept getting them off the field today.
Well, Malik and Shad, they take, they love football. And they were embarrassed last week by the way they played with their eye discipline, and they had a great week. I thought that Marcel, Coach Yates really challenged them. I thought Rabbit played better. And then Reggie, we keep talking to these guys about how hard you practice, and you're going to practice yourself into a really good football player. And I thought Muddy and Reggie had their best weeks of practice since I've been here. And, it just happens to show up. That's the way it is. Whenever you practice that hard, you're going to play well.
Kind of bouncing off that, specifically in those 2 overtimes, what did you see out of the defense that kind of impressed you on those stands?
Well, I'd like to stay in that first overtime and won it there. We didn't fit up, and we didn't tackle at that point on the sideline. Let them get the first down. I saw guys that, man, they really believe in what we're doing, and you could see the look in their eye. You could see their the way they're talking to each other and holding each other accountable. And then if they do something wrong and they're getting coached hard, then they have a what's next mentality. They're not getting their head down. And when we go back and look at this, there's some guys that are really growing up. Some of the old guys, they're playing well. And then, like, again, Philip had another good game. We threw him in there with that first group in that second overtime. He's a guy that he threw his body to make a really good tackle for a loss. I don't know if it was at the end of the half or when it was, but we got some guys growing up. But those guys, man, they believe in what we're doing, and whenever you have that belief, then good things can happen. Hey, Kosai. What's up, Tyree?
So real quick, on Twitter, the Texas Tech Athletics, I don't know if you've seen it, just posted "Welcome to the League" to University of Houston. What is that rivalry like, and what are you going to do later on when you see Houston in the Big 12?
I love it, man. I think they're a great program. It helps us with them being in the Big 12 because it only helps us recruiting, because you're going to be able to play there every other year. And recruits in that Houston area are going to be able to see the brand of football that we play. I think Dana does a great job. He's got a ranked team that they've been in overtime the last 2 weeks, so he's got them to where they really believe and they're fighting. But it was good for a ranked team to come in here and leave and us have the W. So that was really exciting.
Joey, 37 seconds left in regulation after they make the field goal to go ahead 20-17. You start at your 25. How did you feel just about your team's poise in that situation and your execution of the drive that started with Donovan running for 27 yards?
Well, Kitley was fired up, so when Kitley's fired up, I'm usually excited. Our guys, man, I mean, that's why you play the game and you coach. You want to play in these games. I'll tell you what was really cool about, I'm going to skip back to defense really quick, but when I first got here, I started talking to the defense about, putting out fires. And when bad things happen, get up off the bench and get ready to go play because, spectators are on the bench. Football players are on the field. And they had that mentality. Rabbit kept saying that, like, hey, we get to go play. We get to go play. We get to go play. And so it was good. But I thought the offense, man, they're really good up front on defense. 0, 9, and 44 are really, really good players. And they had a really good scheme. I mean, we ended up giving up 6 sacks. And I thought we got the drive started, and then I thought the offensive line played well, getting us down there to get the field goal.
Which follows into my next question. I was going to ask you, the fact that you gave up 13 tackles for loss and 5 or 6 sacks, to what degree is that a concern for you going forward?
We got to fix it. We knew that, I mean, they had 44 sacks last year as a defense, and 3 of those guys were on that defense, 0, 9, and 44. And so we're fixed to play an opponent that is very good up front. They got 10 returners on defense, and so there's some things that we've got to get better at. But all that's a mixture of, I mean, I've got to go back and watch the tape, but are we getting the ball out on time? Are we, where are our eyes? We gave up one that, I think it was Nehemiah sitting in the middle of the field, waving his arms, and we got to all work together to make sure we cure that situation of giving up negative plays.
On the field goals, Trey makes one. After Trey misses, you go to Gino. After Gino misses, you go back to Trey. What's kind of the thought process in deciding this guy or that guy?
Well, the first one we didn't hit well. For whatever reason, I don't know that. But I asked KP, Coach Perry, I said, who do you want to go with? He said, Gino. We went with Gino, and he came, after he missed, he came back with Trey, and, Trey hit it. And once Trey hit that one, we felt like, and he hit it well. In fact, he made it twice. Then, we just stuck with him in overtime.
He, right before the 47-yarder, Dana called timeout before he made it. And the radio guy said, and we thought that he missed that one a little bit. Did you, on the one that he followed through when Dana called timeout?
I thought he made it.
You thought he made it? Okay.
Yeah.
You think does it help a kicker kind of groove himself in that situation?
We encourage them to go ahead and kick the ball. We want them to go through their timing and their rhythm, and so.
Regarding your quarterbacks, obviously you said all along we're going to play all these guys.
Yeah.
Was the game simply too tight and the situation didn't allow you to put Barron in today?
Well, he played a snap, not at quarterback. He played a snap. We had a trick play, but it was one of those deals of sometimes at that position, when bad things happen, you want them to be able to fight through it. And so Donovan played well early, and there was some things. I mean, interception-wise, that you probably could have gone with Barron, but we wanted to see if he could fight through it, especially this early in the season, and get better. I mean, and he'll get better off this game.
All right, that'll do it for Coach. We'll have Kosai and Kyrie here in a second.
Appreciate y'all. God, 6 tackles.
Start us off with the first question.
Coach just raved about the defensive play from you guys today. I just want to get your thoughts on how you guys did and what was clicking for you guys defensively.
I thought we played really well. We fought through some things. When offense wasn't going, we were trying to give them as much momentum as we possibly could. But overall, I think we played pretty well. We obviously can get better, but overall, I think we played pretty well.
Like Kosai said, I think we played very well. I think we got a lot of things to clean up, but we wanted to finish the game off, and that's what we was living for the whole game.
You guys were watching Donovan on the last touchdown run for you guys. What was kind of y'all's emotions like just watching that and, the first time you guys have beat a ranked opponent since 2019?
When right before that play started, I literally said, "In Donnie, I trust." I knew Donnie was going to take me home. I've been telling him all game. I was telling him all game, "Donnie, take me home. Just take me home." So, yeah, now it was good to see Donnie win us that game for us.
As a defense, we expected it because, like last year, he won the Iowa State game for us. He he shines in big games, and this was a big game. We beat a ranked opponent, and you know, he's a great quarterback.
Both of you talk about how this defense seems to be coming together and that it is stronger than it has been in the years past, and how you both feel about this defense not at where it is now, but where it's going to be in the future.
I think we have the potential to be not only just the best defense in this league, but one of the best defenses in the country. We played a lot together. A lot of us are coming back. A lot of us are old, so I have a lot of confidence in us.
Like I said at the beginning of the season, I expect our defense to be the best defense in the league, and we're going to keep building it each week to be the best defense in the Big 12.
What does it say about the defense that, you know, they came down, pick six, you guys come back, having to, you know, stop them again, and you have the ability of keeping them from making significant things all game long?
I mean, we practice those situations. We do red zone lockout. So when the offense makes a bad play, we got their back, and we're gonna hold up and hold them to a field goal.
Yeah, we got a strong mentality of what's next. What's next? Like, offense threw a pick, so what? That doesn't mean anything to us. Like, we just gonna go out there and play our game, do what we got to do to get a stop.
What did it feel like from the defensive standpoint to hear the purge sirens finally ring and get a couple turnovers for you to break the ice this season?
I mean, every week we preach on getting three takeaways. I don't think we reached the 3 takeaways, but we got 2, and we came out with the W. That's all that matters.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we got that monkey off our back. Got some takeaways. We got a lot more to get this season, though, for sure.
Hey guys, so you guys are starting off 2-0 and against a ranked opponent. What does that mean for you guys to be starting off on such a right foot?
I mean, coming into the season, we expected to be 2-0. We expect to win every out-of-conference game. So it don't mean anything. We're just going to keep building off of it and go slingshot into the Big 12 conference.
Like you said, everything's going according to plan. Nothing's changing. The plan's still the same. We still got a path that we're on.
This is the last time you guys are going to play Houston as a non-conference opponent. Next year they're going to join y'all. How does a game like this really give us a good preview of what to expect for the Big 12 in the future?
I mean, U of H is a good football team. I mean, they're probably going to help. We're losing Texas and Oklahoma, and they're going to come in and be another great opponent that Texas Tech plays in the future.
I think it'll probably end up being a pretty good rivalry game. I'm excited to see how that goes, honestly.
We'll go next here to Chris.
Can you guys just talk about what it's like defending against Clayton Tune, and I guess what was your experience today playing against him? Houston quarterback.
I mean, coming into the game, we knew he was a great runner. He's a good quarterback, and so our plan was to keep him in the pocket and to tackle him. But the biggest goal in this game is to come out 1-0, and that's what we did.
And can y'all just both of y'all talk about what Krishan means to the defense and kind of your relationship with him?
You said what?
Okay, relationship with Krishan and kind of what he means to the defense as a whole.
I mean, Krishan's a great teammate. We're all close with Krishan. He's a leader for the defense, and he knows a lot of football, and he's gonna play hard we can count him to play hard every snap, and that's what the brand's all about.
Yeah, he's one of the people on our defense, one of the heart and souls of our defense. He plays next to me. We're pretty tight. We have a really, really good relationship. So without him, we wouldn't be what we are right now.
Kosai, we saw you leave at halftime a little before the team. What was wrong there? And you came back and made a play, so I'm assuming it's fine. But.
Everything was fine. Nothing was wrong. I promise I'm good. That was a good question.
Any last questions for these guys? All right, thank you. We'll go ahead.
Okay, so right in front of us, 806 connection right here. We have a former Friendship Tiger and a former LCP Pirate, also New Deal Lion too. Can I talk about that first touchdown pass for you, Nehemiah? What was going through your head, and also for you, Donovan, as well?
For me, I mean, it was kind of a big deal because my grandpa passed away earlier this year, and 2 days ago, the 8th, was his birthday, and so I really wanted to get one for him. So that's what it meant for me.
And then for me, from my standpoint, it's just going through my reads, and he was my first read, and he got open. He made a great catch for me, and then yards after catch for him. That's what he does. He's not easy to tackle, so he just did what he did and made that touchdown.
Can you walk us through that game-winning touchdown?
Yeah, it was just going through my reads. Coach Keeley just said, "Hey, always use your legs if stuff is not open. If you don't see anything open." So I was going through my reads, and I just felt everyone dropping back. I saw a hole open up, so I just saw it and took it and ran, and that was that.
You guys to be able to kind of bounce back in that second half too and push this one into overtime and ultimately a win. What's going through your mind to stay composed in situations like that?
It's always just what Coach McGuire preaches, and I guess you could look at this game, and that's exactly what he says. What's next? So it's just that's something we really did this game. That's something I did this game, and everyone on the side was encouraging. Everyone, hey, what's next? We got this. We don't got to worry about nothing. So that's what we just had. We listened to Coach McGuire, what we've been doing ever since spring. Just everything we've been through. Just we had always had that what's next mentality, and that's what we showed today.
Yeah, and it was just having that faith in each other. We go through all these things with each other over the off season and stuff like that, and with the plan to win, the brand, all that stuff. I think we had a oddly good amount of faith after things weren't going our way. For however many unanswered points we had, we just kept having faith, and believing in each other.
Well, speaking of having faith, 4th and 20, scramble, you make it a good throw. What's going through your mind when scramble drills going and being able to convert, where crucial first down?
Yeah, it's just another thing of just knowing my reads, just going through my reads, and if the pocket breaks down, I got to make a play. So that was just the biggest thing. I knew that if something wasn't there right away, I got to prolong the play just to see if somebody would get open, some of my guys would get open. And luckily, JB, he made a big-time catch. Our O-line held for me when they needed to, and JB just made that catch and got upfield. So without the O-line that play, without the whole team that play, we wouldn't have kept going with that. So proud of the guys up front and proud of JB of keep working. And then you always see the wide receivers behind the scenes, the guys that may have run somebody out on that play just so JB could get more open. So it was just a group effort on that play.
It also takes, when your leaders go down, being able to step up. What is it for both of you stepping up when, it was your turn to take your spotlight?
You got it first.
Just the biggest thing is just practicing and preparing like you're gonna be the next man up mentality. So just whenever your number's called, you always just got to be ready for that. So that's just something we all preach on the team, and everyone needs to be ready. Everyone needs to play to the best ability they can when they need to go in and contribute to the team. So that's just the kind of mindset I carried into it.
Yeah, and I think like he said, it just comes down to preparation. I don't think, regardless of what position or where you are in the depth chart, I don't think anybody in the receiver room has the mindset of, I'm a backup. I think that everybody works as if they're playing this week, playing 50 snaps or whatever it may be. And so I think it just comes down to preparation.
So JB had the drop in the end zone, then he turns around and has the 4th and 20. Was there something that maybe both of you said to him to kind of like keep his head up and not get rattled from that drop?
Yeah, I just told him, I was like, hey man, you're good. You're good. There's nothing to worry about. I didn't have the greatest of plays sometimes at some point, so I just like, hey man, you're good. We got you. We're gonna get the ball back, so there's nothing to worry about. And I'm pretty sure that drive, I don't know what happened, but I know the defense stopped them. I'm pretty sure. So it's just like, hey JB, you're good. We're gonna get the ball back again. So just keep your head up, and you got this. So that's what I told him.
Yeah, I just told him you're gonna get another chance to make a big play, and whenever you make that play, most people are gonna forget about that drop you had. So whenever the time comes, just make that play.
Go ahead, Justin. Donovan, there were a few times on like a 3rd and 10 or so that you appeared to check into like a QB draw. Was that something that you did, and do you have that freedom to do so in the offense?
Yeah, we have the freedom to do whatever we want, whatever we need, whatever coach sees. It goes both ways, communicating what we could do. So if Coach Keeley saw something, he'll let me know. If I saw something, I just checked it, and Coach Keeley just goes with it, and he trusts us to do what we need to do.
Donovan, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but going into NC State next week, what's the biggest improvement you want to kind of see out of yourself?
I'm gonna watch film and look at it with Coach Kidley. You know, it was great to win this game, but you know, it could have been a lot cleaner. A lot of stuff that I could have done a lot better, obviously. So I'm gonna watch this game first, and then worry about on Monday or Sunday what NC State has and what we need to do for that. So definitely gotta look and what I could do better from this game and prepare next week for NC State then.
Donovan, when things are not going good for you, you know, you have the pick six, have a couple other picks. How do you compose yourself mentally to, I guess, stay engaged in the right way when the momentum is not on your side and, you know, things are looking not great for you?
Yeah, for me, I'm a real spiritual guy. I come from a spiritual family of Christians. So the biggest thing I've been practicing and working on is just let go and let God. So everything that happened, you know, I'm like, okay, man, I'm upset about it. I give myself probably like 5 seconds, but I know it's like, okay, you know, I can't break. I can't show frustration, whatever. So I just take a second, take a deep breath. I'm like, hey, you know, God, I'm gonna give this to you. That wasn't the best play I had or whatever, but you know, I got to be here for the team. So just give me strength, give me the will to keep working and fighting for this team. So that's just what I do. I just have a calm mindset. No need to freak out about anything, because obviously I feel like if there was a situation where we were freaking out, I was freaking out, my team was freaking out, you know, we wouldn't have that outcome right now. So just the biggest thing, stay calm, and everything we've learned from spring all through summer and all through fall that we've gone to each other, you know, we got each other's back, and we'll show courage to each other and take care of each other. So that's just what mentality I have with it.
You took quite a few hits today and went down several times. That, I guess it helps being 240, but how does your body feel after a game like that?
It feels good. You know, that's a part of the game. You know, it's always good to get hit sometimes, you know, just get used to the game. So obviously I'm definitely going to watch film on ways that I could do better to protect myself and get balls out quicker, a lot of stuff that I could do to get the ball out of my hands better too. So I'm proud of my guys for getting up. I'm proud of my O-line and everything like that. So just we're all going to look at film and just see where we can get better.
Nehemiah, your touchdown looked a lot like the play that you scored on in the spring game. It was about the same length, and you bounced off a couple of guys in the spring game and again today. Was that the same? Do you remember? Was that the same play or not?
No, it wasn't.
Play.
No, sir.
As physical a runner as you are, how much do you draw on your experience being a running back in high school?
I think I draw on that a lot. I mean, I like Coach Jones says, when you get that ball, you got to turn into a running back, and I've been a running back. So I think it definitely helps me a lot, you know, with yak, stuff like that. So I like to be able to do both, of course, but it definitely helps me. It hasn't hurt me in any way.
And we'll close over here with Zach.
Hey, Donovan. Coming into that last drive, 37 seconds, one timeout, you're on your own 25, now down 3 after the pick six, or one of the interceptions. Just kind of take us through just coming back, leading the team down there, and frankly, with plenty of time even to spare.
Yeah, those are just things like we go over in practice. Like if you watch one of our practice days, that's literally what we do. I'm pretty sure we had like an exact situation of we have 38 seconds, we need a field goal, and we have one timeout, something like that. I'm pretty sure that's exact one of the situations we had. But it's just like stuff we do in practice, even in the overtime. We call it red zone lockout, and that's just something where the ball's on the 20, we got to score, and we go good on good against the defense. So this is all stuff that coaches prepared us for, and I just did my job, did what Coach Kidley taught us to do. We don't need big plays all the time, so just take what they give us, and that's what we did that drive.